Since Roe versus Wade, someone is raping 84,000 Boy Scouts and counting, I'll wager, and pretending we're negotiating. I don't think that's what the FBI signed up for. I don't think that's what it says on their chart when I show up at the office talking about crimes against humanity. Yeah, hi, I'm here about a 40-year crack epidemic full of school shootings with a side of 84,000 Boy Scouts getting raped. Then they pretend you're negotiating so they can penalize various institutions with no say in the matter, and they don't say anything to you either. They just rip everybody off until they're pissed off enough to let them try to kill you before you find out. And they don't know who they're, anybody who actually knew what was going on knew we weren't negotiating. So now impetus shifts from a religious assertion to just being a coward. They're scared. I don't want to get in trouble. The guy's raping little boys in surgery and blaming the Boy Scouts so they could trade Teddy Roosevelt's land grants, see Rushmore, Yellowstone, for a gay bar in New York, the Stonewall. Took issue with something I said after that. I turned out to be the disappointment. I have never said anything bad about Israel. Okay, there were a couple misunderstandings, but it wouldn't have mattered if you didn't have somebody looking for an excuse. Like, I could see how you might misunderstand the covenant of biblical Israel cannot be confined to any geopolitical boundary in this world. That means it's bigger than life. I didn't know we had someone pretending to be the federal government selling little Irish kids because they're too stupid to figure out that we invented whiskey, and you would have never heard of gasoline if it wasn't for us. Fine, don't use our alcohol when you do your surgeries. What are you running through those coolant towers? Alcohol? Well, you're just gonna have to be hot. You're gonna have to use like fermented, like just wine or something. You can't distill it and stiff the Irish, act like you gotta rape our kids so we get by, like we're not allowed to eat if we're not getting raped. Islam believes our ancestors escaped enslavement by theirs, and we are all born fugitives of a debt which can never be repaid. It's actually, even though it was the last of the three big, it's not technically an Abrahamic tradition because Abraham drank wine. Anyway, they worship the curse of Cain from Genesis, before Moses, the Whore of Babylon. Anyone descended from Adam, okay? Islam owns you, thinks they own you. So this is why Christians do not conduct usury, but our Jews got to be keeping score, okay? This ain't kosher. Gandhi was not Hindu, okay? So there's 2 world wars we might have avoided, idiot grandmasters. And then Saudi Arabia is founded in 1923, 5 measly years after the fall of the Ottoman Empire. Subtle, but you're worried about whether Israel has a right to exist. Who knows what Russia did, if anything, as long as the heathen are acting like it's our religious obligation to blame them. You see Jesus on the ceiling, okay? You see how it's round? How the heavens are round? Islam was debunked by Socrates 1,000 years before the Quran was written.